Hey, today I'm going to show you why Surf browser is different. So let's talk about why Surf is different than your current browser. We figured out that you're working with a lot of different things throughout your day, whether it's your math class or a hobby project, programming something, or just collecting stuff while researching. And yeah, essentially your stuff is everywhere. And there's no way of actually organizing these things. Your local file manager can't deal with links. So we think that your browser should have storage. What I have here in Surf is like a couple of different contexts that I use throughout my day. I have my home context, for example, that I use for general browsing, but I also have like a couple of other contexts in here. For example, a memory research context that I use for like some research that I'm conducting, or I have like a little design inspiration context where I just browse through common sites and just like save a bunch of things. One thing that's different though in Surf is that each context comes with a storage. When I'm opening my stuff, you can see that I have a storage representation of all the contexts that I have. For example, I have my stuff inspiration context where I regularly just save all of the stuff that is interesting to me. I also have a memory research context where I'm currently researching how memory can work with AI together, and I have a couple of YouTube videos and articles saved in here. But now I want to do something with my context. For example, I want to create a note about the memory research. I researched stuff before, I saved it to stuff, and now I want to be able to extract information back to help me with my research. And what I can do is create a note within Surf. And what I can do within the note is hit the add key, and then I have a bunch of options. I could use all the contexts that I have in Surf, as the answers will be much better than you will get from a normal LLM. Let's take the memory research that context that I have in here and ask it how could memory and AI work technical and theoretically. And this answer is much more prone towards my context that I pulled in. And as you can see in here, I have a bunch of citations in here. So I can always jump back and see from where the LLM pulled the information. Like this is an article where I can see the actual piece of information that highlights me where this information was coming from. And this is not only limited to websites or articles. This also works with PDFs. For example, I had a PDF open here and the highlight is in here, as you can see, which is super cool. It makes research much faster. And now I have the ability to edit this thing and make changes to it. And if I'm unsure on what to do next, I can always spin up some suggestions from the AI that will, again, use my context and provide me some good next steps. Comparison between bio and AI memory would be pretty awesome. So let's do it. And I got a pretty good answer. Here it states that it needs a sleep phase for memory consolidation. Let's see where this information came from. I also recently added a sleep phase for memory consolidation, a time-aware retrieval step for foundational memories. That's just awesome and something that's so transparent and based on your stuff. And this will work with your student material from university, the stuff that you search online, and it's essentially working with almost everything that has text inside. And this is where you can see that it makes sense to have these AI capabilities within your browser and not as an external service. All right, there's two more things that I wanted to show you. The first one is vision, because like everything that you see in Surf can be used as an input for an LLM. So when I'm going into the command menu and hovering over this little ask button here, we can select the use vision tool. And what I then can do is like select everything that I see on the screen or just this little portion and ask questions about it. It will answer this question for me, but what I also can do is like create little apps. And this is like a static list in here. And imagine I'm building my own memory system. I could just ask it to build me an interactive checklist that I can do. So let's try it out. This is the checklist that we got. Let me open that in the sidebar real quick. Now I have it in here, and then I have an interactive demo where I can check all of the things that I already did. But now to the last thing that I wanted to show you, because each context has storage, but also each context has a desktop. I open it by clicking here, and I can drag and drop everything that I want onto this desktop. So let's drop it here, close the chat real quick. And now I have my memory checklist down here, and it's persistent because the LLM figures out on its own if it needs storage as well to persist the state. So yeah, if you want to learn more about servlets, we have like an extra video where we go more into detail and how servlets work, what kind of other cool use cases you can do. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed this little intro video into Surf, and you can see why it is different than other browsers. And I hope you have a good day, and see you on the next one.